For most of human history, turning 30 wasn't considered young. It was considered lucky. Today, reaching your 30s feels ordinary. Many people are still figuring out their careers, building families, or deciding what they want from life. But if you traveled back tens of thousands of years and told an ancient hunter-gatherer that most people in the future would live beyond 70, they might think you were describing a supernatural world. Because in their world, death was everywhere. It waited in the shadows beyond the campfire. It hid in infected cuts, contaminated water, brutal winters, and the jaws of predators. A simple fever could become a death sentence. A broken bone could end a life. Childbirth was one of the most dangerous events a human could experience. Every sunrise was uncertain. And yet, there's something strange about the story we've all been told. You've probably heard that ancient humans rarely lived past 30. But what if that's not entirely true? What if the number itself hides a much deeper mystery? Because archaeological discoveries reveal something surprising. Ancient humans weren't necessarily dropping dead the moment they reached their 30th birthday. In fact, some lived into their 60s, 70s, and possibly even beyond. So why do historians often say that the average lifespan was under 30? The answer leads us into a forgotten world of disease, violence, evolution, survival, and impossible choices. It reveals why human childhood became unusually long, why grandparents may have helped build civilization, and why simply surviving to adulthood was once humanity's greatest achievement. But perhaps the most shocking discovery is this. The dangers that killed our ancestors didn't just shape their lives. They shaped our bodies, our minds, and the way we still live today. To understand why most ancient humans died before 30, we first have to enter a world where survival itself was a daily miracle. Imagine waking up 40,000 years ago. There is no alarm clock, no house, no locked door protecting you from the world outside. Instead, you open your eyes beneath a shelter of branches, animal skins, or perhaps the overhang of a rocky cliff. The air is cold. Somewhere in the distance, a predator calls into the darkness. Your stomach is already reminding you of the most important task of the day. Find food. For ancient humans, survival was not something that happened automatically. It demanded constant effort. Every meal required work. Every source of water had to be located. Every night brought uncertainty. Modern humans live in a world built to reduce risk. Ancient humans lived in a world overflowing with it. A hunting expedition could provide enough food for days. It could also end with a shattered leg, a deadly fall, or an encounter with an animal far stronger than any human. Even gathering plants carried dangers. Some foods were poisonous. Others were scarce during certain seasons. Mistakes often carried severe consequences, but physical dangers were only part of the story. The natural world was unpredictable. A sudden storm could destroy shelter. A harsh winter could wipe out food supplies. A drought could force entire groups to abandon familiar territories and wander into unknown lands. Every decision mattered. Where should the group travel? Which animals should they hunt? When should they move camp? The wrong choice could mean starvation months later. Yet despite these overwhelming challenges, humans continued to survive. They adapted. They cooperated. They shared knowledge across generations. Around campfires, stories were exchanged, not merely for entertainment, but as survival manuals. Knowledge about animal behavior, edible plants, dangerous territories, and seasonal changes could mean the difference between life and death. Still, even with intelligence on their side, ancient humans faced a brutal reality. Many never lived long enough to become experienced adults, and the greatest threat wasn't always hunger, predators, or the weather. It was something that began affecting humans almost from the moment they were born. Picture a prehistoric camp at sunrise. The adults are preparing for another day of gathering food and watching for danger. Nearby, children play in the dirt, unaware of how fragile their lives truly are. When historians say that ancient humans often died before 30, they are usually talking about averages. And averages can hide a shocking reality. The greatest danger in ancient life was not old age. It was childhood. In the modern world, most people expect a newborn baby to survive. We worry about health, but survival is generally assumed. For ancient humans, no such certainty existed. The first few years of life were incredibly dangerous. A newborn entered a world with no hospitals, no antibiotics, no incubators, and no emergency medicine. A minor infection could become fatal. A fever could spiral out of control. Malnutrition could weaken a growing body before it had a chance to develop. Even something as simple as contaminated water could become deadly. And then there was childbirth itself. Today, childbirth is still a serious medical event, but modern healthcare dramatically reduces many risks. In prehistoric times, Both mothers and infants faced dangers that would be considered terrifying today. Many never survived the process at all. As a result, entire communities experienced a heartbreaking reality that became normal. Parents often lost children. Children lost siblings. Death was not a rare tragedy. It was a familiar part of life. This is one of the main reasons average life expectancy appears so low in ancient populations. When many individuals die during infancy or childhood, the average age of death drops dramatically. But here's the surprising part. If a child managed to survive those dangerous early years, their chances improved significantly. Reaching adolescence was already an achievement. Reaching adulthood meant overcoming obstacles that many others never escaped. Scientists studying ancient remains have discovered evidence of individuals who lived far beyond 30. Some reached ages that would have been respected and admired within their communities. Yet surviving childhood did not mean safety, because another enemy was waiting. An enemy so small that ancient humans couldn't even see it. Imagine slicing your hand while shaping a stone tool. Today, it might be an inconvenience. You would wash the wound, apply medicine, perhaps get a few stitches, and continue with your day. For an ancient human, that same injury could begin a chain of events ending in death. The most dangerous predators our ancestors faced were often invisible. Long before anyone understood bacteria, viruses, or infection, microscopic organisms were silently shaping human history. Ancient people could see the wound, they could feel the fever, but they had no idea what was causing it. A small cut might become swollen and painful. Days later, the infection could spread throughout the body. What began as a minor accident could become a fatal illness. And wounds were everywhere. Hunters were gored by animals. Gatherers were scratched by thorns and sharp rocks. People burned themselves near fires, suffered broken bones from falls, and endured countless injuries during everyday survival. Without antibiotics, even the strongest individual could be defeated by something no larger than a speck of dust. But the story becomes even more unsettling. Ancient humans lived close to nature, which meant they shared their environment with parasites, insects, and disease-carrying organisms. Water sources could become contaminated, food could spoil, illnesses spread through camps and settlements with frightening speed. When disease arrived, there were few defenses. Communities often relied on traditional remedies, herbal treatments, and the knowledge passed down through generations. Some of these methods may have provided real benefits. Others offered comfort more than cures. Yet no amount of wisdom could fully stop epidemics from taking lives. Archaeologists studying ancient skeletons frequently find evidence of disease, infection, and long-term physical suffering. Bones preserve scars from battles that the body fought for years. And still, disease was only one piece of the puzzle, because even a healthy person could suddenly find themselves facing forces far beyond human control. For most of history, humanity lived at the mercy of nature itself, and nature could be unbelievably cruel. Imagine standing on an open plain thousands of years ago. The sky is darkening. A cold wind sweeps across the landscape. The animals your group depends on have disappeared beyond the horizon. Food supplies are running low, and nobody knows when the next successful hunt will come. In the modern world, bad weather is usually an inconvenience. For ancient humans, it could become a catastrophe. Nature controlled nearly every aspect of life. A long winter could freeze hunting grounds and destroy food sources. A drought could transform fertile regions into barren landscapes. Floods could wipe out shelters and force entire communities to migrate. The difference between survival and starvation was often measured by a few weeks of weather. And unlike us, ancient humans had no forecasts. They could read signs in the clouds, the behavior of animals, and changes in the seasons, but nature often remained unpredictable. A sudden environmental shift could undo months of preparation. Some of the most dramatic examples occurred during the Ice Age. Massive climate fluctuations transformed entire continents. Forests became grasslands. Rivers changed course. Animal populations moved into new territories. Human groups were forced to adapt or disappear. But the danger wasn't limited to climate. The natural world was filled with powerful predators. Ancient humans shared landscapes with creatures that most people today only encounter in museums or documentaries. Giant hyenas, saber-toothed cats, cave bears, and enormous packs of wolves occupied many of the same environments. Humans were intelligent, but they were not the strongest animals around. A single mistake could turn hunter into prey. Yet perhaps the greatest threat was scarcity. Hunger followed humanity everywhere. A failed hunting season could weaken an entire group. Malnutrition reduced strength, slowed recovery from illness, and made people more vulnerable to disease. When food became scarce, difficult choices had to be made. Communities migrated. alliances shifted, competition increased, and where resources become limited, another force often emerges, a force that has shaped human history from the very beginning: conflict. Because nature wasn't the only thing ancient humans had to fear. Sometimes the greatest danger came from other humans. As night falls, a small group gathers around a fire. Children sleep close to their families. The flames crackle against the darkness. Everything appears peaceful. But somewhere beyond the reach of the firelight, another group may be watching. For much of human history, survival was not only a struggle against nature, it was also a struggle against one another. When food was scarce, water sources limited, or hunting grounds contested, conflict could emerge quickly. Ancient humans lived in small groups that depended heavily on access to resources. Losing territory could mean losing the ability to survive. Archaeological discoveries reveal a world that was sometimes far more violent than we once imagined. Ancient skeletons have been found with spear wounds embedded in bones. Others show signs of blunt force trauma, fractured skulls, and injuries consistent with organized attacks. Some sites contain evidence of entire communities meeting violent ends. These discoveries tell a troubling story. Humans have always been capable of cooperation, but we have also been capable of aggression. The same intelligence that allowed our ancestors to hunt efficiently could be used to plan raids. The same social bonds that protected families could create divisions between groups. And violence carried consequences that extended far beyond the battlefield. A wound that might be survivable today could become fatal without medical treatment. Broken bones could leave a person unable to hunt or gather food. Even survivors often carried lifelong injuries. But here's the strange part. Despite the dangers, conflict may have also shaped some of humanity's most important abilities. Cooperation within groups became essential. Communication improved. Social bonds strengthened. Trust became a valuable survival tool. In a dangerous world, people who worked together often stood a better chance than those who stood alone. Yet even as humans learned to cooperate, evolution was quietly creating a different challenge, a challenge hidden inside the human body itself. Because some of the traits that made us successful also made us surprisingly vulnerable. And nowhere was that vulnerability more visible than in the very thing that made us human. Imagine looking at a newborn human beside the newborn of almost any other animal. The difference is striking. A foal can stand within hours. Many animals begin moving, following their parents, or searching for food almost immediately. Human babies, by comparison, are astonishingly helpless. At first glance, this seems like a flaw in nature's design, but it may actually be one of evolution's greatest gambles. Millions of years ago, our ancestors began developing larger and more complex brains. Intelligence offered enormous advantages. Better planning, better communication, better tools, and better cooperation all increased the chances of survival. But bigger brains created a serious problem. The human skull became larger, while the structure of the pelvis remained constrained by the demands of walking upright. Evolution faced a difficult trade-off. If babies stayed in the womb much longer, childbirth would become even more dangerous than it already was. The solution was imperfect. Human infants began arriving in the world earlier in their development compared to many other species. In a sense, much of human growth happens outside the womb. This allowed large brains to evolve. But it also created extraordinary vulnerability. Human children require years of protection, teaching, and care before they can survive independently. That long dependency period became one of the defining features of our species, and it came at a cost. Every additional year of childhood created more opportunities for disease, accidents, malnutrition, and death. Families had to invest enormous amounts of time and energy into raising each child, yet the reward was remarkable. Those long years allowed young humans to absorb vast amounts of knowledge. They learned language, social rules, hunting techniques, survival skills, and cultural traditions. In many ways, humanity's greatest strength emerged from its greatest weakness. But here's what scientists find especially fascinating. Children were not learning only from their parents. In ancient communities, another group may have played a surprisingly important role in human success. A rare group of survivors who had already beaten the odds, the elders. And their existence may have changed the course of human history forever. Imagine a campfire burning late into the night. Around it sit hunters, parents, and children. But among them is someone different. Their hair has turned gray. Their face carries the marks of decades spent surviving a world that tried countless times to kill them. Simply being old in the ancient world was an achievement. Every scar told a story. Every wrinkle represented dangers overcome, winters survived, and lessons learned. These individuals were living proof that survival was possible. and they may have been among the most valuable members of their communities. For most animals, life revolves around reproduction. Once offspring are produced, an individual's evolutionary role is largely complete. Humans are unusual. Many people live long after their childbearing years have ended. For decades, scientists wondered why. Then an intriguing idea emerged. What if older humans helped younger generations survive? An experienced elder knew where food could be found during droughts. They remembered migration routes, dangerous territories, seasonal changes, and medicinal plants. They carried decades of knowledge that could not be stored in books because books did not yet exist. Their memories became humanity's first libraries. Imagine a young hunter preparing for a dangerous journey. The elder beside the fire may have crossed the same valley 30 years earlier. They might remember where predators hunted, where water remained during dry seasons, or which plants could save a life during illness. That information could mean the difference between survival and death. Some anthropologists believe these older survivors helped accelerate human progress. Knowledge no longer disappeared when one generation died. Instead, it could be passed down, refined, and expanded. But here's the remarkable twist. The existence of elders creates a common misunderstanding about ancient life. Because when people hear that most humans died before 30, they often imagine a world where nobody grew old. The evidence tells a very different story. To understand why, we need to unravel one of the biggest myths about human history, a myth hidden inside a single number. Imagine visiting an ancient settlement and meeting two people. One is a child who dies before reaching their 5th birthday. The other survives into their late 60s. Now, imagine trying to calculate the average lifespan of the entire community. Suddenly, the number becomes misleading. This is the hidden truth behind the famous claim that ancient humans died before 30. The statement is based on average life expectancy at birth, not on a biological limit that prevented people from becoming old. When infant and childhood mortality are extremely high, average life expectancy drops dramatically. Large numbers of deaths among the very young pull the average downward, creating the impression that almost nobody lived long lives. But archaeology paints a more complex picture. Researchers have discovered skeletons showing signs of advanced age in many ancient populations. Some individuals lived long enough for their joints to develop significant wear. Others lost teeth and survived for years afterward, often relying on support from their communities. These discoveries reveal something extraordinary. Ancient humans were capable of reaching ages that would feel familiar today. The challenge was getting there. A child had to survive infancy, then disease, then accidents, then famine, then violence, then environmental disasters. Every stage of life acted like a filter, removing countless individuals before they reached old age. Those who survived all of these dangers often became the elders whose knowledge strengthened future generations. This changes how we should think about the past. Ancient humans were not a species programmed to die young. They were humans, much like us, living in a world filled with risks that modern society has spent thousands of years reducing. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of the story. The average lifespan was short, not because life itself was short, but because survival was so incredibly difficult. And the fact that anyone reached old age at all may be one of humanity's greatest achievements.